Well, well, well. What are your thoughts, guys, about this car? Because some people are excited, some people are less excited, but I'll give you this. What I'm seeing right now is drivers signing up to race this car, and hundreds, like 200, almost 300 people signing up for a race in week 13, and it's quite amazing. I can already tell this car will be popular. This car feels amazing. I want to give my thoughts on it with this video and also some predictions, but I had such a good time driving this car around Spa. It was crazy good. Now, the new tire model helps. Also, the assists of this car are quite incredible. Like, you can get away with slamming the throttle with little to no wheel spin. You can lean into ABS. It's quite forgiving, but I still believe the learning curve will be steep, especially in those high-speed corners. You will see people driving and just spinning the car, even though it's a lot easier to catch slides right now. People will still spin the car because the car will fight back. For sure will fight back. You will see the next corner in Puon, people will spin, and that's the natural tendency of the car in those high-speed corners, especially on cold tires. But even when the tires are up to temperature, far more difficult compared with the older GT3s, if we have a baseline. But all in all, the driving experience is so good, and I believe that once people get more familiar with how this car handles, the racing will be decent as well. Now, these D-class license races, the Ferrari 296 GT3, and now with the Challenge, these are short races. And to be fair, I don't really like those short races. Like, yeah, they're good if you're just starting ahead, but the likelihood of getting in a wreck is much higher in these races because there's not enough time to make as many moves as you'd like to, so people are naturally rushing the moves. So I think the racing has potential with this car, but given the fact that these will be short races, 15 minutes, and people will need some time to accommodate with the changes of the car, maybe week 1, week 2 will be quite eventful. But anyways, it has potential. Once people will start to see that you have to brake later, you can go more into ABS, and there's not enough downforce of this car, so you have to take that into account as well. Then, of course, during the season, I believe the racecraft will be better. But I do expect the start of the season to be not as clean, let's say. This thing happens with the 296 GT3 as well, because you get in D license a very fast car, and some drivers are quite good at racecraft and also at racing technique, but some others are just beginners, and they got to D license and they are tempted to go into a faster car. So even though they are not yet able to control the car, so it's gonna depend. But I think the higher splits will be good, will be decent. Now, would you make this car your main car? Sure, why not? Like, this car is super fun to drive, but I do believe people are just in a transit in D license and then C and then B, and once they got to B, they will most likely drive those GT3s, maybe even some prototypes, endurance racing. So I do believe that once people get to like a B safety rating license, they won't drive this car as much, especially because it's quite different than GT3s. But I can see the argument that someone just likes this car and will just spam races in the class. That's also good. But all in all, given the fact that this car handles a little bit differently, and I believe the racing standards, and because it's a shorter race, no pit stops, eventually some people will move on. Now, don't get me wrong, I said in the beginning that this car will be highly popular. That's because if you look on any chart, you will see that these races from D and C safety rating licenses. You know, they are so popular because the majority of the players are here. So first of all, I will encourage you to just give it a shot if you didn't. I will be also covering this car with my track guides all season long, baby. We will just go each track, me and Matthew, we will just make sure that we'll make the best track guides possible for this car so that you guys can get quicker and quicker. We will also need to understand the car through the season. So I believe there will be, you know, a learning curve once again. But if your plan is to stick just in the Ferrari and just race the Ferrari fixed, I mean, you know, the challenge now, this can be an idea. Some personal recommendations if you're running this car in terms of force feedback. I find that reducing the damping and inertia helps a lot with this car. It makes a lot more obvious when the car understeers, and the car will understeer, has a tendency to do it. I think it's also because of us. We're trying to push the braking points, even though this car is so fast and just has less downforce. So one of the changes that I did, and it instantly felt much better, was to reduce the damping and the inertia from my wheelbase settings. Now, in terms of the driving itself, it's very hard to tell at this moment because we all need more time with this car. But it looks like it's faster to just brake more aggressively, go into ABS, go into TC, and the tires are basically good, right? Because in the past, the problem was that, yeah, those assists were helpful, but because those assists will just overheat the surface level of the tire, then you will just gradually lose grip. So I believe right now, like you can see right now, I'm just braking to 100%. I can't really feel the downsides. I believe there are some downsides, and there will be, you know, the conversation about trying to find that minimum brake pressure, like going into ABS, but, you know, just don't do it plantedly so that you get more performance. I believe that will be the case. But as a starting baseline, in my experience so far, you can kind of abuse the assist and you'll be good with this car. But all in all, I think this car will be, once again, very good, a very good transition for people that maybe are already experienced in motor racing. Like they're coming from different sims, they already have some experience, they're not brand new to racing, and they just want to drive something fast. I think this can bridge the gap quite nicely. And yeah, this is my experience so far with the car. I'm curious to hear yours, and I will let you watch my last lap trying to chase Augustine. I hope I pronounced it nicely in front. So this was the last lap. I'll let you watch it. And once again, thanks for sticking around here on the channel. Thanks for being a subscriber if you're a subscriber. Thanks for liking my videos, checking them out, and so on. It really means the world to me. So looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.